First, before I started acting more obnoxious than a 12-year-old who just crushed up his Ritalin pill and up the nose it went, let me give my sincere thanks to when I woke up this morning, just a stream of well wishes on my Facebook, on email, and so forth. Just some really great stuff. Tons of people, obviously outside the community, but tons of people inside the community already had sent me all kinds of great birthday wishes, and I really appreciate it. That was very nice, very thoughtful, very touching to me, and thank you. Jonas put a really funny thing at Dusty Roads, and then he took one of the pictures of me and put it in there on this Dusty Roads thing. So that was very funny, Jonas. I had a good laugh on that one, and everyone else that sent me stuff. Matt, Tim, all the other guys and girls. Heather, Rachel. Thanks. I really appreciate all the well wishes. Very nice of you guys to take the time to do that. Now, your main man will come back and talk to you about, now we talked before about RPG paraphernalia. I said, I don't really like any of this stuff. I'll take the battle map and I'll send it right into the trash can. Dungeon tiles, in the fireplace you go. Miniatures against the wall and pieces are all that shall remain. Now, people come back in the comments, I like this, I like this, I like this piece, and that's fine. There's different styles of gaming and all kinds of mature things that I can say about that. But that's not the kind of channel we have here. So I'm going to lambaste these sort of ideas. But I'm going to talk about what I do instead. That's right, RPGs off the grid. Now, when you're not focusing on the grid, when you're not focusing on setting up dungeon tiles, when you're not focusing on stopping the game and ink drawing out everything and making the X's where the orcs are and digging into the cans and setting up all the different miniatures and skeletons and, your Lathanderite displacer beasts, manticores, whatever the party you're playing, when you're setting not having to set all that stuff up, when you're not having to, I forgot my miniature, let me run to the front of the house and grab that one, or whatever. When you're not having to take the time to reach across the table and move them around and such. What are you doing with this time? How are you investing in? What are you doing? What are you using? I don't even use a table. That's right. I don't even have a table as part of my RPG paraphernalia. It's just a wide open space, to space that simulates that space of creativity that is happening, that is unfolding, that is being explored by the collection, by the collective of individuals in attendance. And in that space, we'll get up. Now look, there's two types of play. Role-playing games is completely based off an adult attempt at elevating childhood play. Just like professional football and professional baseball are just kids' games. But they're played at such a perfect level that children could never hope to do that. RPGs, hopefully, when done well, are going to be the same sort of deal. They're a child's game elevated. Now, miniatures, battle maps, dungeon tiles, these are toys. You are playing with toys. And before you hit the dislike button, I'm not knocking that at all. But I need to illustrate this point. You're playing with toys. It's the exact same thing as you get 3 or 4 friends over. And one gets Han Solo, one gets Luke Skywalker, one gets Darth Vader, one gets Chewbacca, and then the Han Solo comes up and it's like right on Darth Vader. Darth Vader's like, oh, my nugget! So it's the same thing because you are investing. I am Han Solo. I am Luke Skywalker. I am Chewbacca. I am Darth Vader. Those are your miniatures. You are playing. You've set up your little sand Tatooine play base, or maybe an ice base off the planet Hoth. I had both of those when I was a kid. That's why they're quickly to the memory. Or little Yoda's little house, or the Ewok village. Had those too. Whether you're setting that kind of stuff up as using it as your battle map, the figures as your miniatures, when you're interacting like that, yeah, you can see just where Darth Vader is, just where Han Solo is, just where Luke Skywalker is, just where Jabba is slapping his Gouye around. Solo. I was going to play Jabba. Come on now, we got to work my main man in, you understand? So, whether you're doing that and using the miniatures and setting up, seeing where they are, my miniature does this, my toy does this, my character is doing this. It's that sort of style, it's that sort of immersion, it's that sort of taking from childhood and bringing it up to a more adult level, hopefully, and being able to engage in that fashion. Now, there's another style of play. I remember I think maybe the Vampire the Masquerade, they just cursorily, they didn't mention it and completely go on. Like, they don't develop, they don't explore this idea to the point that I certainly do. We talked about playing with toys, right? What is the other thing that kids do? And my son isn't here right now. I was actually gonna have him run by and do this in a video now that I think about it. But, oh well, he's not here. So, my son will sit there and play with the toys, right? Okay, I'm playing the Hulk or whatever. But he'll jump right in my face and go, I'm Godzilla, I just burned you. Because children love to engage in imagination that way. Cops and robbers, cowboys, and Native Americans. Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it? Whatever sort of game you're playing. We used to go out there and play Trans RZ all the time when I was a kid, all the time. That horrible. I'm sure, I haven't even tried to find those episodes because I remember the animation being poor by like the early 80s, mid 80s standard when it came out. So I don't know what that's going to look like compared to the amazing animation they have today. But that aside is really... So, my point here is, when you're playing the cops and robbers, bang, 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 I got you, you're dead, bang, 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 and you're engaging, you're getting enthusiastic, you're getting energy, you're getting into it. It's much easier to believe. All of a sudden, these are all you need, baby, and these are finna sort somebody out, do the damage, do the damn thing right away. You kids who go, at least we used to it, the kids still play those sort of games of imagination. Like I said, if I had my son here, I'd have him run across and breathe radiation, electricity, whatever the hell Godzilla breathes, all over me, because he loves it all the time. And the same thing, you could even prop in there. You could grab swords and so forth. And trust me, I get hit with those all the time. That happens about 812 times a day to me. Boom! Mild concussion sustained, and we go on. So, what we do, we get that big empty space, right? We don't have a table. We're just right here on my den. I'll sit here, right in this chair. It's comfortable. I got a big-ass comfortable couch over there that you can see in some of my videos. And players will sit there. The Moon, for some reason, likes to, he is small size. He likes to sit in one of my kids' little, hard yellow chairs that are are for children. Seriously, he does. And he'll sit there and pull my kid's table over and use that for his little table. So each guy will have their own table. We'll set up a TV tray. They can put some dice on or a soda or what have you. And then we just have that empty space. Now, in that empty space, when we're engaging, I like to get up. I'm animated. I like to get involved, get in your face, really push the envelope, push the pace so we can really engage to that best possible level. So, when I have the players in a combat, let's just talk about combat for a minute. And okay, I have a group of dwarves with their axes, and I have an ogre with them. So just to go over just a real quick encounter ad. So I have an ogre with a group of dwarves attacking the party. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why. There are reasons, but that's not relevant to the point. It's just going to make the video longer. They get attacked by, I think, about 7 characters. The 7 characters attack them. And while they're attacking them, I'm up. I'm describing what they're doing. Anytime one of my players has defeated an NPC, I'll give them a little sign. I don't even have to say anything. I just give them the sign. And then they'll go into describing. I do not describe what they've done if they have just defeated him. And I don't care. Do what you want. You want to knock him out? Well, that's fine. You want to cut his head off? That's fine too. But go in and give me very intricate details about, and man, boy, I'd pass that control right over the players. And they're loving it. They love it. That's a great tip that I can give anyone out there. Give the control. The NPC's already beat, right? He's beat. So why are you going to describe it? You save your description for everything. You let them describe it. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't have, there's no negative side to it, and they will enjoy it, which is a huge positive. Plus, they're going to get more animated. They're going to get more involved. They're going to be thinking more about engaging. They're not thinking about, can I do 7 damage? They're thinking, I'm going to make my description cooler than Rob's was. And then Rob will go, okay, you got me, but now I'm going to come back and I'm going to even outdo what you just did. So it creates that good kind of competition. And there's a bad competition where, I carry more power game than yours and min-max for me. And I have a better feat chain. No, that's trash. What I'm talking about is the competition where someone's like, trying to step up that acting game. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to bring mine. I'm going to bring mine to a new plateau against your ass. And it keeps raising. And it's healthy competition. It's good. So that is really an excellent avenue for bringing that in. I was explaining one thing. Now in the game, and this is an alpha test for the game that I am in the process of designing. And by process, I mean not barely started. This is way into it. I'm slated to have right now like 4 books. I'll probably be releasing, and a novel set in a campaign setting, starting in the 18th chapter, slated for 25. So, a project that's really moving, and I'll be telling you guys more and more about in the coming months. You understand, baby? So that in the Dungeons and Dragons game, for example, you have your tax opportunity, and often those are just a horrible thing. I've, as a game master, get around that by if I have a monster that just would evoke a tax opportunity, I'm just gonna have him run through. And players look at you like, "What the hell are you doing? Don't you understand that?" Yeah, man, take him, whatever. If Hill Giant ain't gonna look at a halfling and think that's just like looking at somebody, kid. He don't care about you. He's gonna go get that guy that he thinks might pose a threat. Oh, look, you got an attack. Go ahead, take it. I mean, it might have been a bad idea on his part, but you're just not what he's worried about. Just for a quick example, now, so instead of I have my dwarf character, and he's standing, and I'm using very generic names, even not names I have, but the Moon's character, and the Moon, you can see him in my MarsCon video. He's in my face, and he does the motion. He's got a bow out, right? He's drawing back the bow. And we're talking about later, talking about, how tense the situation I was for him, how great a situation, he's got the bow. And I'm a dwarf, and he's got the bow right in my face. I'm not thinking, ha-ha, attack of opportunity. I'm thinking, oh shit, my nugget's about to get air conditioned. Because I'm engaged, I'm playing this dwarf. I'm coming in, I got the axe up, I'm about to get him, and the arrow right through the eye socket, and I'm done, son. That's exactly the sort of reaction you would have. Someone points, put a monitor, someone puts a gun right in your face. You're not like, ha, attack of opportunity. You're like, oh, shit. And that's exactly the sort of way that it engaged Old Man. I said, man, this is it. This is how you do it. This is how the magic happens. This is where you get in that creative space. It's awesome. And me, I'll take a bump. Like, you kill my characters, down I'll go, I don't care. I enjoy that. My man Rob took a bump because he got to help me out in that combat. Just, I'll talk about, how his sternum is broken. And just that details really flipped through my mind. It's really kind of an advanced aspect of game mastering. Sort of adjudicate all that out. But, he's being hit. He's just being crushed down. And he just, slumps back, collapses on the couch. He's sitting there, and afterwards he's all coughing and blood coming out of his mouth. And he's, wheezing, he's got, crushed ribs and a crushed sternum. And he's in very bad shape because he's been hit multiple times with horrible death-dealing weapons. These sort of things just come along. So, and I got my man Nugulus. He comes in. He's all afraid. His character's kind of cowardly. He's got this big cudgel with all his mystical symbols carved in there to the great god Pagan, the god of humanity. And he's like, ugh. He's like kind of coming at guys and coming back. And he's doing the thing with his hand, like, ugh. And I got all kinds, like I said, little weapons. You can pull those out too. Pull out little swords and shields and stuff, and engage to that level as well. But just the holding it, just boom, and in my imagination, the whole cudgel comes out. He's looking all wide-eyed. He's kind of like coming, so you get that gait. How's the character engaging? Is he reckless right up in your face? Is he, oh damn, I don't really want to do this? Or, how does it fall? And when you're engaging at this level, trust me, you can do such a deeper aspect of role playing. You can again, we're not looking at tactics in terms of 5-foot adjustment. In terms of our tactics, we're looking at how would it really look to have a bow pulled in your face? How would it really look to have the tip of a spear this close to your nose? And you're fighting back, you're parrying off with your shield and so forth. And you got this table right there, so you go, boom. You roll your dice. I roll my dice. Boom, we stand up. We get it. Back again. Roll, and we get up and we act it out. So there's not that aspect and problem of, oh, well, I need to know where I am. Well, we're continually describing that. We're not moving the miniature around. In that time it takes you to move the miniature around, I can describe what's happening. I can talk about the horses. Are they about to bolt? Are they about to flip out? And I remember, a lot of times combat is very quick. So that first round is what, like just 10, 6 seconds, depending on your game. So the horse is like, oh, what's going on? But it might flip out. He might just give somebody a kick, and of course in that combat the horses do run off. But they're able to use some cover and so forth. And by being able to engage in this way, the players really are able to feel their characters more. They're able to role play continuously during combat. So many times have I seen combat where there is no role playing at all, just role playing, and that's the butt. So when it's all about role playing, it's just a real quick boom boom and the die, and then we're up. I don't use damage dice in my game. I have it all kind of factored in. I think it's actually a pretty good system for the use of an off the grid game. It's very, very quick. Up, and we can get into it. And again, for the player, you give him the sign, just like working heal, you give him the sign, and he could take it away and describe it. And I'll sell and get into it. He could describe, and if you remember, if you've taken them out, let them do whatever they want. It's like, they want to hit you like 8 times, let them. Whatever they want, and give them the vivid description. The details, really wonderful. So as we're doing this, we're continually talking about how the characters are moving, where they're going, if they're standing there. Steve made the roll use his bow or fleshery to pull an arrow right out of the one guy's head without snapping it off. Or maybe I don't think it was his head. Actually, no, I remember it was he pulled it out of the goulet of one of them, and then restrung it and shot at somebody else. And of course that used certain actions, but it made for a good scene. It was interesting. You got to work an extra skill in there, and it had a lot of excitement. And I'll guarantee you, if we had sat down and moved miniatures around and rolled dice, the players wouldn't have had 5% of the fun. They had getting up, slumping and selling like they're about to die, or getting all excited like right in the face, and then giving those vivid description of what they've done. And remember, we still all know where everyone is. I was handling 7 NPCs. There were 3-player characters. There were, and I say horses. There were no horses. There were other sorts of animals that again got to be kind of guarded on. But they had their riding mounts, which eventually did bolt. So we're dealing with 13 creatures there. None of them Lathander priests, who were also displacer beasts. None of them manticores. Oddly enough, I don't know how I didn't get either one of those in this scene. That's a fault to me, I guess. But the players are engaged. They're thoroughly engaged. They're not sitting there being bored. They're sitting there frothing at a bit, just chomping to try to get involved in that action. They want to get in there. They're looking at what each other's doing, the descriptions, and they're like, oh, okay. So many times you'll see, in a bad game, the players aren't even paying no mind to what someone else is doing. But in a game like that, they have to, because they don't want to be, they want to step up their game and go, oh, you did that? Well, I'm going to do something even better. Oh, that was pretty cool, though. And they also have to pay attention so they can see the ever-changing aspect of combat. They can see what's happening and pay attention. And I can guarantee you, if you have creativity, if you have imagination, you do not need any form of paraphernalia. You have the greatest tool right there between your ears. And you can engage it in that creative space, in that exchange with the other players, and release over to the players the ability to affect. What does their dice say? They did that. Okay, well, let them do it. Don't micromanage it. Don't need to be in charge. If they got it in, let it do it. But at the same time, I'm giving a description. I'm coming to the heart. I'm bringing them what my NPCs are bringing to them. And I'll bring the descriptions. Oh, well, you just got knocked unconscious. Well, some horrible things happened. And here they are in order. So, try it sometime if you haven't. Get up. Play Cowboys and Indians. You don't have to play action figures. You can get up and play Cowboys and Indians and really stretch that imagination and explore RPGs off the grid. And let me know what you think.